The morning sun rose over the jagged mountains, casting long shadows across the valley where Jinho walked with careful steps. He had been following strange readings for weeks, signals that pulsed like tiny heartbeats buried deep under the earth. His boots crunched against loose gravel, and every few steps he bent down to examine the rocks, searching for the source. He was a man of patience, an engineer who loved solving problems no one else dared to touch. Beside him, Hei-Wan adjusted her glasses and scanned a handheld device that hummed softly. "The readings are stronger here," she said, her voice steady but filled with excitement. Her curiosity was contagious, and even Min-Seok, their military liaison, felt a twinge of awe despite his usual skepticism. "Are you sure this is safe?" Min-Seok asked, glancing around at the towering cliffs and the narrow valley below. "We don't know what's down there. It could be dangerous." He was practical, trained to expect the worst, but even he could not deny the pull of the unknown. Jinho smiled faintly. "That's why we are here, isn't it? To find something no one else can." He knelt and brushed aside the dust, revealing a glint of metal. It was unlike anything he had seen on Earth, smooth and dark, with patterns etched across its surface that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. Hei-Wan leaned closer, her eyes widening. "It's not human. The energy signature matches nothing we've recorded. It's alien." Her voice trembled with a mixture of fear and wonder. Min-Seok crouched beside them, examining the object. "If it's alien, we need to contain it immediately. The government will want to study it. But we should be careful. We don't know if it's active. It could be a trap." His mind raced with scenarios of hidden defenses, toxic energy, or worse. Yet beneath the caution there was a spark of anticipation. They worked together, carefully removing layers of rock and debris. Hours passed and the sun climbed higher, illuminating the valley in stark light. Finally, they uncovered a massive structure, half buried and scarred by age and damage. The Starship was unlike any human creation, sleek, dark, and otherworldly, with panels that shimmered faintly despite the years. Jinho ran his fingers over the surface, feeling a hum of latent power beneath the metal. This is a Starship," he whispered. "A real one. And it's been abandoned here." His mind raced with possibilities. If this technology could be understood, humanity could leap centuries ahead in knowledge and power. Hei-Wan knelt beside him, her hands shaking as she activated her scanner. Data flooded her device, numbers and symbols that defied normal understanding. "The energy core is damaged, but parts of it are still alive," she said. "We could study it, maybe even repair it. But we must be careful. Some systems might be dangerous." Her voice was firm, the scientist in her already thinking about experiments, possibilities, breakthroughs. Min-Seok rubbed his jaw, tension showing in his posture. "We need to alert the authorities. This is too big to handle alone. But at the same time, we have to secure it. If word gets out, everyone will want it. We could lose control before we even understand what it does." His military training clashed with his awe of the discovery. As they debated their next move, the ship let out a faint vibration, almost imperceptible. Jinho felt it under his fingers, a pulse that seemed alive. He froze. "Did you feel that?" he asked. Hei-Wan nodded, her eyes wide. "Yes, it's responding to our presence. It's as if it's aware." She stared at the patterns on the hull, the strange symbols shifting subtly, almost like a heartbeat. The ship was not just metal and circuits. It was something more. Something alive in a way humans could barely understand. Night fell over the valley, and they set up a temporary camp nearby. Fires crackled, and the cold mountain air was filled with the hum of the ship. The three sat silently for a while, each lost in thought. They had found something incredible, something that could change the fate of humanity, but the weight of responsibility hung heavy. Min-Seok broke the silence. "We need a plan. This ship is too dangerous to leave exposed. We secure it tonight, and tomorrow we get experts to examine it." His voice was low but firm. He looked at Jinho and Hei-Wan. "Are you ready for this?" Jinho nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "We are. We can't let this opportunity slip away. Imagine what we could learn, what we could do." Hei-Wan smiled faintly, excitement battling caution. "Yes, but we must be careful. We don't know what triggered its abandonment or why the aliens left it here. There could be more to this than we realize." The wind howled through the valley, carrying the scent of earth and stone, and the ship pulsed softly, as if listening, waiting. The night stretched long and full of possibilities. Jinho, Haiwan, and Minseok took turns watching over the starship, their minds racing with questions, plans, and the thrill of discovery. By dawn, they had secured a basic perimeter around the ship and reported their findings to the authorities. Experts arrived, cautious and curious, eager to study the alien craft. Yet the three knew that their work was just beginning. This was not merely a discovery. It was the first step in a journey that could reshape the world. As the morning sun broke over the peaks, Jinho looked at the ship, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known. Humanity had stumbled upon something greater than itself, a gift or a challenge left by beings far beyond their understanding. And deep down he knew that they would not just study it. They would use it, transform it, and maybe, one day, wield it in a way the aliens had never imagined. Haiwan joined him, her eyes reflecting the shimmering metal of the ship. "We have to be ready. This is just the beginning." Minseok nodded, his hand resting on his sidearm, though he felt it might be useless against what lay before them. "Then let's make sure we are. Humanity has always risen to the challenge. We will rise again." The valley was quiet, the mountains standing silent as guardians. The starship lay in wait, its secrets hidden beneath alien metal, and the humans began their first careful steps toward unlocking the impossible. The adventure had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. The underground lab buzzed with energy as Ji-yoon worked on the alien starship's damaged systems. Sparks flew as she connected human-made circuits to the strange alien panels, her hands moving with precision and confidence. Dong-hyun sat nearby, a laptop open and fingers flying over the keyboard, trying to understand the ship's AI. The air was thick with anticipation and a sense of urgency. Jinho and Haiwan stood back, watching the progress. Every time a system came online, the ship emitted a low hum, almost as if it were breathing. The humans had never seen technology like this. Ji-yoon adjusted a wire, and the ship's surface shimmered briefly, a sign of life hidden deep within the alien metal. "This part of the engine is completely alien," Ji-yoon said, wiping sweat from her brow. "I have no idea how it works, but I can try to connect it to our power source." She smiled, the thrill of a challenge shining in her eyes. Dong-hyun leaned closer to the screen. "The AI code is strange, but I think I can rewrite some of it to understand our commands. If we can sync it, the ship will respond to us more reliably." His voice was calm, but the intensity of his focus made everyone aware of the stakes. Minseok watched them carefully. "Remember, we have no idea what will happen if the systems activate fully. It could be dangerous. Make sure you have fail-safes in place." He had grown used to the hum of the ship, but he still felt a shiver of unease at its silent power. For days, the team worked tirelessly. Ji-yoon adapted Earth engines to interface with the alien propulsion system, a task that required both skill and creativity. Dong-hyun worked to communicate with the AI, trying different code sequences, attempting to understand the alien logic. Haiwan studied the ship's energy patterns, making sure the core remained stable. Jinho coordinated the team, ensuring their efforts aligned. They faced many setbacks. Power surges caused sparks to fly dangerously close to their instruments. Some panels refused to respond, as if the ship were testing them. Every failure brought frustration, but it also brought lessons. The humans were learning not only how the ship worked, but how to think in ways the aliens had designed for. One night, while the team rested in shifts, Ji-yoon noticed something unusual. The engine core, which had been dormant for so long, pulsed faintly. She alerted Jinho, who immediately called Dong-hyun and Haiwan. Together they observed the core, its glow rising and falling like a heartbeat. "It's reacting to us again," Haiwan said, her voice a mix of awe and caution. "Something about our energy, maybe our presence, is waking it slowly." Minseok, standing a safe distance away, nodded. "Careful. We don't know if it's friendly or defensive. Let's proceed slowly." With careful precision, Dong-hyun sent new commands to the AI, integrating some human logic while leaving the alien core intact. Slowly, the starship began to respond. Lights flickered across its surface, symbols shifting in ways the humans could not yet fully read. The hum grew louder, vibrating through the floor and into their bones. The breakthrough brought excitement, but also new questions. "What was this ship made for?" Jinho asked aloud. "Why would aliens leave it here broken?" Haiwan shook her head. "We may never know the full reason, but we have a chance to understand and use it. We can't waste that. Her eyes sparkled with determination. Over the next week, the team's progress accelerated. Ji-Yoon managed to repair the navigation systems partially, and Dong-Hyun successfully established a limited communication channel with the AI. Jin-Ho and Hai-Wan tested power flow between human engines and the alien core. Each small success boosted morale and gave them confidence in their ability to rebuild what the aliens had abandoned. Even Min-seok had to admit he was impressed. The ship's design was unlike anything humanity had imagined. Its defensive systems, energy distribution, and propulsion methods surpassed Earth's technology by decades, perhaps centuries. And yet humans were adapting it, combining ingenuity with raw determination. One afternoon, a sudden jolt shook the lab. Alarms blared as power surged unexpectedly. Ji-Yoon scrambled to stabilize the engines while Dong-Hyun fought to control the AI. Hae-Won ran diagnostics on the energy core, her heart racing. "It's reacting to our adjustments," she shouted over the noise. "We need to synchronize carefully or we could damage the entire system." Jin-Ho took charge, directing the team with calm authority. Slowly, they balanced the power flow and the ship quieted, its hum returning to a steady pulse. The near disaster reminded them that the alien technology was powerful, unpredictable, and potentially dangerous. That evening, as they gathered to review the day's progress, the mood was a mix of exhaustion and excitement. "We're closer than ever," Jin-Ho said, looking at his team. "We've proven we can interface with this ship. Soon it will be fully functional." Hae-Won nodded, her mind racing with possibilities. "Once it's working, we can test its capabilities. Propulsion, energy systems, maybe even weapons. We must be ready for anything." Ji-Yoon smiled, her hands still blackened from the day's work. "I never thought I'd see something like this. It's incredible. And we are the ones making it work." Min-seok, still cautious, finally allowed himself a small smile. "Humans are resourceful. We always find a way. Let's make sure we are smart about it too." Days turned into nights and nights into long work sessions filled with trial and error. Slowly, the alien starship began to resemble a living machine, its systems responding to human commands, blending alien design with human ingenuity. Every failure taught them more, and every success made them bolder. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Dong-Hyun sent a new sequence into the AI, and the ship's surface glowed from tip to tip. Symbols rearranged themselves into a pattern that made sense to human logic. The engines hummed, and a small section of the ship lifted slightly, held by magnetic fields as if testing gravity control. The team stared in awe. "It's working," Ji-Yoon whispered, disbelief and triumph in her voice. "We're making it work," Hae-Won's eyes shone. "We are not just studying alien technology, we are mastering it." Min-seok felt a thrill he had not felt in years. This is more than any army or weapon. This is humanity's future. As the lab fell silent, the starship hummed softly, alive under the careful hands of humans who had turned curiosity into creation. Outside, the world continued unaware, but underground in a hidden lab, humans were reshaping the abandoned alien starship into a tool of potential power, intelligence, and retribution, and they knew deep down that this was only the beginning. The underground lab was alive with light and sound as the alien starship responded to human commands. Jin-Ho stood at the control console, his hands steady despite the excitement racing through him. Hae-Won leaned over a holographic display, analyzing energy readings that danced across the screen, while Dong-Hyun typed rapidly, adjusting the AI's response to human instructions. Ji-Yoon moved between the engines and the control systems, her tools clinking softly as she made precise adjustments. It had been weeks of tireless work, but now the ship was more than a collection of alien parts patched together with Earth technology. It was a living machine, responsive and aware. Its engines hummed, the glow of the energy core pulsating like a heartbeat, and small lights along its hull shimmered as if acknowledging their presence. Subin entered the lab, her eyes wide at the sight of the nearly operational ship. She had been brought in as a strategist, someone to plan how this incredible machine could be used effectively. "It's incredible," she said, her voice filled with awe. "I've never seen anything like it." "How close are we to making it fly?" Jin-Ho glanced at her and smiled. "We're close. We need to run more tests, calibrate the AI, and make sure all systems are synchronized. Once that's done, we can take it for a controlled flight." His voice carried a mix of confidence and caution. He knew the risks, The ship was powerful but unpredictable. Dong-hyun nodded. The AI is responding better. It's learning our commands and adapting, but it has quirks, behaviors we don't fully understand yet. We have to watch it closely. He tapped on the keyboard, sending a new sequence to test the AI's problem-solving capabilities. HFY studied the energy readings, her mind racing with possibilities. The propulsion systems are stable for short bursts. If we run a full-speed test, the core will need careful monitoring. We can't risk overloading it, but if we succeed, we'll see capabilities far beyond any human ship. Ji-yoon tightened a panel connection, her hands steady despite the adrenaline. We've already adapted the Earth engines. Now it's about synchronizing everything. One wrong step and it could shut down, or worse. Min-seok stood a few meters away, arms crossed, watching every movement. He had come to respect the human's determination and skill, though he still felt a tension he couldn't ignore. Remember, the moment we lift off, we're dealing with unknowns. Every system, every pulse of energy could react in ways we can't predict. The team nodded in unison, aware of the risks, yet driven by the thrill of discovery. They had spent countless hours analyzing, repairing, and adapting the ship, and now they stood on the edge of a moment that could change everything. With careful coordination, they powered up the ship's engines for a test run. Lights blinked along the hull, the energy core glowed brighter, and a low hum resonated through the lab. The ship's AI responded to Dong-hyun's command, moving a small section of the hull as if testing its control over gravity. Jin-ho stepped forward, his hand hovering over the control panel. "Initiating test flight sequence," he announced. His voice was calm, but the excitement underneath was undeniable. The ship lifted slowly, held in place by magnetic fields as it hovered a few meters above the ground. The team watched, holding their breath as the alien technology responded flawlessly to human commands. The hum grew louder, filling the room with a vibration that seemed to synchronize with their own hearts. Soo-bin studied the data streams, her mind working rapidly to predict outcomes. Stability is good. Propulsion is within safe limits. The AI is responsive. We can extend the test. She nodded to Jin-ho, who adjusted the controls. The ship rose higher, its glow illuminating the lab. The energy core pulsed steadily, and the engines emitted a smooth, deep resonance. The team felt the power of the ship in every vibration, a raw energy that humans had never harnessed before. Suddenly, the AI made a small adjustment, shifting the ship slightly off course. Jin-ho reacted quickly, sending a command to correct the movement. The AI responded instantly, aligning with human input. It was a dance of trust between human skill and alien intelligence, a cooperation that had never existed before. HFY recorded the readings, her mind racing. It's learning from us. Every adjustment we make, it adapts. This could change everything. We're not just controlling it, we're teaching it to cooperate with human logic. The team continued testing, gradually increasing the ship's capabilities. Propulsion, energy distribution, and basic maneuvering were all stable. The Starship was no longer just a wreck. It was alive, functional, and responsive to its human operators. As night fell, the team took a break, gathering around a small table with their notes and screens. The room was quiet except for the hum of the ship, now stabilized and hovering calmly. Jin-ho leaned back in his chair, exhausted but exhilarated. We did it. We've brought it to life. This is more than any one of us could have imagined. HFY nodded, her eyes still reflecting the glow of the energy core. We've unlocked its potential, but we have to be careful. There's still much we don't understand. The aliens built this for a reason. We have to respect that even as we adapt it. Ji-yoon smiled, a mixture of pride and anticipation in her expression. We've repaired it, integrated it with our tech, and now it listens to us. Imagine what it could do once we fully understand it. Soo-bin added, and once we have strategies in place, we can use it to protect Earth, or to assert ourselves if needed. We have an advantage now, something no other civilization on this planet has. Min-seok remained cautious, but he could not hide the pride he felt. We have a weapon and a tool unlike any other. But remember, power without control is dangerous. We need to be ready for anything. The team agreed, aware that they were standing on the threshold of a new era. The ship had awakened, and with it, humanity's potential to rise above its limitations. They had taken an abandoned alien starship and, through determination and ingenuity, made it respond to human logic. In the quiet of the lab, the starship hovered, lights shimmering, energy pulsing steadily. It was a symbol of what humans could achieve when curiosity, intelligence, and courage combined. Jinho, Haewon, Ji-yoon, Dong-hyun, Subin, and Min-seok looked at it with awe, knowing that the next steps would be even more challenging. They had awakened the Starship, but the true test was yet to come. The human mind had tamed the alien machine, but the universe beyond Earth awaited, full of unknown dangers and possibilities. And humanity, with all its creativity and determination, was ready to face whatever came next. The rebuilt Starship had become the center of human ingenuity, and its power was impossible to ignore. Jinho, Haewon, Ji-yoon, Dong-hyun, Subin, and Min-seok had tested and learned its capabilities. Now the world above and the universe beyond had begun to notice. Alien scouts, distant observers of Earth, had started to detect the unusual energy signatures, and their curiosity quickly turned into caution. In the underground lab, the team prepared for the first defensive and offensive maneuvers. Subin studied communications, tracking the faint signals of alien drones approaching the planet. "They are getting closer," she warned. "They are investigating. We need to act before they reach our cities." Her voice was calm, but her eyes reflected the tension in the room. Min-seok checked the security protocols. "We'll need stealth and precision. We can't let them know we are ready for a fight. If they see the full power of the Starship, Earth may become a target immediately." He moved quickly, coordinating the team for the first mission. Jinho stood at the control console, hands steady as he initiated systems for the stealth strike. "We will intercept their scouts in orbit," he said. "The Starship is capable of cloaking and long-range engagement. We'll disable them before they can alert the main fleet." The team nodded, all aware of the high stakes. Ji-yoon checked the engines, ensuring that the alien and human systems worked together flawlessly. Sparks from minor adjustments danced across the console, but she moved with confidence. "Engines are stable, shields are active. The ship is ready," she reported. Dong-hyun monitored the AI's responses. "It understands the mission parameters. It can execute basic combat maneuvers autonomously if we give the command, but we must remain alert. It's still learning." The team activated the ship's cloaking mechanism. Lights along the hull faded. The glow of the energy core dimmed and the ship vanished from ordinary sensors. Only Jinho, Haewon, and Dong-hyun could see the subtle signs of its presence on their internal displays. As the ship ascended into orbit, they could see the first alien drones. Small, swift, and mechanical, they patrolled Earth's vicinity. Jinho took a deep breath and engaged the ship's systems. The pulse cannons activated, energy arcs shimmering across the hull. Dong-hyun guided the AI to optimize targeting, and Ji-yoon adjusted the energy flow to maximize efficiency. The first strike was quick and precise. The Starship's cloaked presence allowed it to disable multiple drones before they could react. Energy beams disabled the drone's systems, causing them to crash into orbit. The team watched as the first victory unfolded, hearts pounding with both fear and excitement. "They won't stop at scouts," Subin warned. "The main fleet will respond. We need a strategy to defend Earth and project strength." She worked quickly, sending encrypted messages to Global Command, coordinating defenses, and analyzing alien tactics. Min-seok monitored every signal, every vibration. "Prepare for retaliation. They'll notice the loss of scouts. We need to be ready for rapid deployment." His eyes were sharp, scanning the screens, anticipating every possibility. The alien drones adapted, sending new waves with minor changes in pattern and speed. But the Starship was faster, smarter, and more adaptable. Jinho maneuvered through orbit, dodging attacks while using the ship's new weapons to disable drones one by one. Haewon tracked energy signatures, predicting their movements, giving the ship an advantage in timing and positioning. The engagement escalated, and the team realized the ship could do more than defend. It could project power beyond Earth, turning the tables on the alien forces. Subin's voice was calm but filled with determination. "We can take the fight to them, disable their systems before they bring reinforcements. Humanity can show that we are not defenseless." Jinho nodded. "This is the beginning of Retribution. We were given their technology by chance, and now we can use it to protect ourselves and make them cautious." The first strike mission ended with the Starship cloaking and returning to Earth orbit. The team reviewed the data, noting how the AI adapted, how energy systems performed under stress, and how human decision-making guided the ship's responses. They had learned more in this single encounter than weeks of testing. Min-seok allowed himself a rare smile. They underestimated us, and we proved that humans can think, adapt, and act faster than any machine alone. This is just the start. HFY analyzed the energy patterns left by the alien drones. Their fleet is organized but predictable. If we plan carefully, we can defend Earth and even take control of key sectors in space. The ship gives us the advantage they never expected. Ji-yoon made final adjustments to the engines, ensuring full readiness for the next engagement. We can deploy faster, strike more precisely, and remain hidden. The aliens won't know what hit them next. Subin mapped out potential targets and strategies. We have a chance to reshape the balance. Earth will not be weak anymore. This starship is more than a weapon. It is our path to assert ourselves and protect the planet. The team took a moment to reflect on what they had achieved. A broken alien starship, abandoned and left as a mystery, had been transformed by human ingenuity into a powerful instrument of defense and retribution. They had faced the unknown, harnessed it, and now held the key to humanity's future in space. As night fell on Earth, the starship rested in its hidden base, cloaked and silent. Yet above, alien drones would continue to approach, unaware of the humans who had mastered what they had abandoned. Jin-ho, HFY, Ji-yoon, Dong-hyun, Subin, and Min-seok knew that the next steps would be even more challenging, but they were ready. Humanity had begun its rise, and the galaxy would soon feel the consequences of underestimating a species driven by courage, intelligence, and relentless determination. The rebuilt starship was ready for its most daring mission yet. Jin-ho, HFY, Ji-yoon, Dong-hyun, Subin, and Min-seok gathered in the underground lab, finalizing plans to strike at the alien forces responsible for abandoning their technology. Humanity had learned, adapted, and grown stronger. Now it was time to take the fight beyond Earth. Subin studied the newly mapped corridors of space. We have traced the fleet to a nearby sector, she explained. Their command ships are organized, but they are unprepared for what we can bring. If we strike strategically, we can disable them without full-scale war. Her calm voice reflected both intelligence and determination. Jin-ho nodded, his eyes focused on the starship controls. We will go carefully, but we will not hesitate. We have the advantage and we must use it. Earth depends on us. Min-seok reviewed the tactical displays, noting potential threats. They may have reinforcements, but their technology is predictable compared to ours now. If we plan well, we can neutralize them and show them that Earth is not weak. The ship lifted silently from its hidden base, cloaked and ready. Dong-hyun monitored the AI, ensuring it was fully integrated and responsive. Ji-yoon adjusted the engines, synchronizing the alien propulsion with human controls. HFY kept track of energy readings, making sure the core remained stable under the stress of interstellar travel. As they approached the alien sector, Jin-ho felt a surge of adrenaline. This was the moment they had prepared for. The fleet came into view, vast and imposing but unaware of the hidden threat approaching. The starship's cloaking kept it invisible, its systems humming quietly, ready to strike. Subin spoke over the comms. We strike in 3 phases. First, disable their sensors and command satellites. Second, intercept the smaller patrol ships. Third, engage the command ships directly. Precision and coordination are our strengths. The starship moved with precision, its cloaking ensuring it remained undetected. Dong-hyun guided the AI to anticipate enemy maneuvers, creating a seamless cooperation between human strategy and alien machine intelligence. In the first phase, energy pulses disabled the alien sensors. Communication channels went dark, and the fleet's awareness dropped. The humans had taken the first step without alerting their enemies. Next, they engaged the patrol ships. The starship moved faster than any alien drone could anticipate, disabling them with precise energy bursts. The AI learned from every encounter, adapting instantly to alien tactics. Jin-ho maneuvered with skill, guiding the ship through evasive patterns while targeting multiple enemies at once. HFY monitored energy flows, making sure the core remained stable. We are pushing the systems hard, but they are holding, she reported. The adaptations we made are working perfectly. The ship is exceeding expectations. Ji-yoon smiled as she adjusted the engines, feeling the power of the alien technology fully under their control. This is our creation now. Not just a ship, but a testament to human ingenuity. The final phase approached. the command ships. Subin outlined the plan, timing every move. The humans had studied alien formations, predicting their responses. The Starship advanced, energy weapons at the ready, cloaking keeping them hidden until the last moment. The attack was swift and precise. Command ships were disabled before they could react fully. Alien pilots were stunned, unable to counter the unexpected tactics. The humans had turned what was once a passive threat into an advantage, using the Starship to demonstrate Earth's capability. Jinho guided the ship through the chaos, coordinating attacks and ensuring minimal collateral damage. HFY calculated energy pulses to disable weapons without destroying critical systems unnecessarily. Donghyun maintained AI efficiency, and Ji-yoon ensured the engines provided the exact power needed. Subin monitored every strategic detail, making sure the human advantage was maximized. Min-seok coordinated communications and security, ensuring the team remained synchronized. The battle ended with the alien fleet in disarray, their command structure disabled, and their forces retreating. Humanity had demonstrated its strength, turning a previously abandoned starship into an instrument of decisive retribution. The team returned to Earth orbit, reflecting on the victory. Jinho exhaled, feeling the weight of what they had accomplished. We have proven that humans are not weak. We adapted, learned, and overcame. We used the tools left behind to defend ourselves and our planet, HFY added, and we have learned much. This technology is powerful, but it is our intelligence and determination that made it work for us. This is the true strength of humanity. Ji-yoon cleaned the engine, still marveling at their performance. We rebuilt what was broken and turned it into something more, something that shows what humans can do. Subin looked at the strategic maps. The galaxy now knows that Earth is not a place to underestimate. We have begun a new era where humans are respected and feared in equal measure. Min-seok nodded. We faced the unknown, used it wisely, and defended our home. Humanity has risen to a challenge no other species would dare. This is only the beginning. As the team looked out at Earth below, they felt pride and hope. They had taken an abandoned alien starship and transformed it into a symbol of human resilience, intelligence, and courage. The galaxy had changed in one decisive strike, and humans had taken their place among the stars, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The ship hovered silently in orbit, its systems humming with quiet power. Jinho, HFY, Ji-yoon, Donghyun, Subin, and Min-seok knew that the universe would never underestimate humanity again. The journey of discovery, adaptation, and triumph had reached a milestone, but the story of Earth and its people had only just begun. And so, with the alien starship restored and humanity's spirit stronger than ever, Earth emerged as a force to be reckoned with, a planet ready to defend itself, to explore, and to shape its destiny among the stars.